All right, so back what we were talking about. So looking at 2025, what are you guys currently doing now to jumpstart the year so you guys have a strong first quarter?
Well, it's, my December, my staying in touch with people and popping by. We, again, Century 21 side changed our name to now Century 21 Professionals, right? So new business cards, new signs, a rollout of our new name and, why it's so important. All of that's happening with the marketing department behind the scenes doing, getting new business cards, things like that. But for 2025, buyer's packet 100% critical. I mean, I can't emphasize anything more than a buyer packet and a seller packet. I have a folder that has, I was in a magazine a while back. I have that printed out, but then full color, glossy paper, a packet of what it is to be a seller. What are the processes? What's the checklist for, cleaning your house and making sure it's and all of that, right? And then also a buyer packet. What is it to buy a home in 2025? It just got put together by the marketing team. Those things are crucial. And when you have that and you're having that conversation with somebody, you send it out to that potential buyer. Oh, this is what's involved. Oh my gosh, what's going on? I've heard all this stuff on the news about this thing I need to sign and this money I need to pay. I have it all explained in that document. So for me, it's about preparing people. That's kind of like my key word for 2025, preparing people for the process, because it is a process. And I think showing them what's involved teaches them they need a professional to do this. This isn't a for sale by owner thing, right?
Hmm.
This isn't just go out and contact the listing agent because you want to save money, because you won't. So I think for me, it's preparing, and I do the reach out all the time. So they get a monthly touch from me, all my clients and customers in my SOI.
Perfect. Michelle, how about you? What are you doing to jumpstart 2025?
I have a gifting program that I'm doing for all my. I got this from Karina because her and I did a little Zoom together. I'm giving everybody a roll of wrapping paper, a thing of ribbon, and a tape, a little roll of tape, and putting a little tag around it. And thank you for wrapping up a great year with me. So everybody that closes a deal with me this year is going to get that. And then I'm going to do something for my VIPs, the people who've referred me. I'm going to do. I haven't decided exactly what I'm going to do, but some cool little basket that I'm going to drop off to them at the end of the year. So really just heavily, I'm going to make sure I get my gifts out this holiday season. I'm sending Thanksgiving cards out this week, for next week. And then basically what she said, just like getting prepared for next year. And what I started to do was bringing those buyer packages to my open houses. So if somebody's kind of hem-hawing about their realtor or saying that they don't have one, then I just say, here's some more information about myself, and I've been handing a ton of those out. So I didn't know how well that was going to do, but got a couple phone calls from people that I haven't, they're kicking the can around a little bit, which is fine, but at least I got a couple phone calls from it. So I think that's what I'm doing. I'm getting all my stuff ready to have my listing packages ready. So all you got to do is just add the paperwork for that house. So you can, we can be busier and be ready to go and have all these packages ready to go. Just cleaning up my business, making sure that all my little notes and everything's done, making sure that my CRM is ready to go. And then also I'm planning out all my marketing and all my gifting for all of 25 ahead of time. Because I learned that if you kind of fly off the seat of your pants, you're doing it like the day before and it's stressful. But if I know that I'm going to do 5 holidays or 4 holidays and I can do it ahead of time, and it's cheaper because the dollar stores and stuff get their stuff out, like Easter's going to be coming out soon. So if I know that I'm going to be doing an Easter thing or St. Patrick's Day, to get that stuff ahead of time. So I've made my calendars of what I'm going to do and what I'm going to be doing for marketing, what areas I'm farming. I have a magazine that I send out to some clients. So shifting who that's going to go to, because I only send about 50 out. And yeah, so just preparing, getting my game plan ready, because I needed to get better at knowing exactly what my year looked like as far as that goes. So
Yeah, no more scratch on yellow pads and all these, sticky notes and all that stuff. You got to get organized.
I love you don't even look at this, like 16
Mm,
sticky notes over here, probably.
yeah, exactly. You're both. I'm just as guilty though. I got sticky notes right here.
This
So
used to be like this big.
yeah, but the underlying theme I'm hearing from both of you is preparation and how essential it is.
Yes.
Yes.
Especially this time of year when it's not I mean, I'm really busy right now, but when I know it'll calm down around the holiday, Christmas time and stuff. And you still have to show up to work every day, even though you're not running after transactions or buyers or listing appointments. This is the best time to sit there and just clean all this business up and get these packages ready. Make sure your buyer's package is ready because that's huge right now. And, making the checklist. I just made some really cool checklists for people, giving it to sellers, like everything you need to do at the day that you closed your house. If you have occupancy, if you don't have occupancy, who you need to call, address, checkpoints, just reminders of things, to do. So my clients were just head over heels. There were some friends of mine and she was just stressed out. And I'm like, all right, let's make you a checklist. So they really liked it. But I think just getting more stuff, value that you can give to your clients right now is good.
I think a big important thing too for seasoned agents and new agents is to get out of your head during this time of year, because we can really get into our head and think, oh my gosh, my business is so quiet, things aren't happening. What's it going to look like for 2025? But if you start talking to agents that are working and that you see at the office every day, what are you doing? You know, if you're not coming in, come in and see what they're doing, because the agents that are at the office working, making those calls, we have a new agent or an agent that just came into our office from one of the other acquired companies. She cold calls every day. She sits there. Alex, you would be so proud. She sits there and she's cold calling and she's calling FISBOs and she gets bashed in the head every time. But she comes out of that office after an hour and she's got the biggest smile on her face. And it's like, how'd it go? She goes, they're trying, they're working me out, and she gets business from it. She really does well. And she knows the market. She knows what's going on. She knows, what to expect so that when she does get that buyer or that seller, she's like, oh, I just talked to your neighbor. They were telling me this, this, and this. This is how you get to know the market. So if you don't have a CMA to do one, do one. Find a crazy address of a house you would love to list and do a CMA on it. Because like Michelle said, when the business starts coming, if you're not prepared and all of a sudden you have to contact a seasoned agent or an agent that is supposed to be your mentor and say, I have a CMA to do, but I forgot how to do it. Shame on you. You're not practicing. You got to sharpen those tools and keep them going. I think that's critical. Those are the things that need to happen right now.
Yeah. And I'm going to come to you, Michelle, in a second. But Karina, being in the business for as long as you have, I have a question for you because I'm curious. The lead generation thing, the prospecting thing, like every agent tries to do everything they possibly can to get around doing that. So you seeing everything you've seen, do you think it's a lack of understanding of what is actually necessary to succeed in real estate for agents to do it and they don't understand what's required, or they just don't want to do it? Like if you had to choose, which one do you think it is?
I think it's not understanding what it does. I think it's not understanding like how important and critical it is to your business. Because the lead generation can be between people that you know. You can generate leads with your SOI. So I think it's understanding that it's not about calling a stranger. If you're afraid to make a phone call, there's already another issue. Like, figure out why that is. Is it because of rejection? Alex, you and I talked about this way back when I first became a coach. It's ego. And I mean, I'm the same way. I'll have somebody I haven't talked to in 2 years and think, oh shoot, I should probably call them. I sold them a house. I mean, even I that does happen, and it's like, oh, what am I going to say? What do I do? How do I just pick up the phone? Hey, how are you? Remember me? I sold your house, and just catch up. They're either going to hang up or have a conversation. Either way, you're still going to take a breath after the call. No one's going to die, right?
Yeah.
So I think if you don't do that, your business will suffer. So if you're not working, you're not making calls. If you're not working, you're not going out and about. Don't eat lunch by yourself. Make a call. Hey, I'm in the area. Want to grab lunch? You want to come join me? Things like that. It's all about people. This is a people business. This is not something that you can be hidden in your basement or hidden in your home office and shuffling papers, because that's just busy work. You have to get out. Let a transaction management coordinator do the busy work. I don't have that. Alex and you and I have talked about that a million times. I don't have somebody handling my paperwork and doing all of that because I'm just too controlling with that kind of stuff. But if it starts to impact my business to where I'm not doing it, I'm getting one.
Yeah.
So it's
I know you're
critical.
control freak and you don't want to relinquish control.
Sorry.
It's okay. But yeah, it's critical. So now, Michelle, your perspective, because you came over from a team to where you essentially got some leads, fed to you, and you had to pay a higher referral fee and all that stuff. But now being on your own for a couple years now, how would you make that transition from team leads to now 100% on your own and generating yourself?
Picking up the phone and having conversations or face to face. It truly does come down to that. It's you just have to talk to people, and if you're not comfortable with the cold calling, then find people in your sphere to talk to. And a lot of people will say, well, my sphere is not very big or none of them are moving. Then that's when you really have to get comfortable on the phone and just be normal. And a lot of people think that we have to kind of be robotic on the phone. And if you just call people and just be like, hey, did you know that like two of your neighbors just sold their house for top dollar? Like, it doesn't have to be. I think a lot of people just get in their head about it and think it's a lot harder than it really is. But at the end of the day, I think some people, to the question that you asked, Karina, do I think people in this business, you asked her if they won't do it or if they just don't know what to do. I think it's a little bit of both. I think a lot of people don't know what to do, but then some people you tell them and they don't necessarily want to pick up the phone. They want to find the easy way out of just sending emails or mailers. And if it was that easy, we would all be millionaires, So
yeah, yeah.
It's the conversations that really are key, regardless of what those look like. If they're with business professionals or if they're cold calls or they're your SOI or anybody, it's just staying top of mind that people know that you're a realtor.
Yeah. So anybody watching this, we're in a contact sport. We only create opportunities by creating conversations, whether you do it over the phone, whether you do it face to face, whether you do it over Facebook Messenger, whatever it is, social media. If you're not talking to people, if you're not engaging, if you're not having interactions, and if you're not showing true, genuine interest in that other person, and you're only trying to serve your self-interest by earning a commission, both of those will translate and people can pick up on that. So if you're making a bunch of calls, you're not getting anything, it's either a skill set problem or it's an intent problem, and people can sense that.
I agree. People are very intuitive. It's just like when someone calls you and is trying to sell you something, within the first few words what their whole intention is. Hey, how are you? What's going on? It all just translates into, oh no, I don't want to talk to you. I don't have time right now. I'm going into a closing. For the amount of people that call to try to sell me something, I am a millionaire, a billionaire, because of how many I'm about to walk into a closing. I say it all the time, but like, come on, you have to be genuine for sure. I want to say, just to backtrack a little bit, years ago, and maybe a lot of people don't even know this name, but Floyd Wickman, I took a series of courses with him. Amazing guy. He used to say, for every SOI call you make, you touch 5 more people, because those people talk about you. If it's a genuine conversation that adds value to their life, whether it be the conversation, the gift, the breaking bread, they talk about you to 5 more people. So make that a good 5 more people conversation they have. You've just increased it times 5. So if I have 150 in my SOI and I multiply it by 5, I'm reaching a lot more people than those 100. So I think that's important to remember. Bad news spreads really fast. Good news takes a little time. That's why this business takes time to manifest when you're calling all those people.
Love that. Well said.
Yeah. And not only just the intent, but the level of customer service and care that you offer out too. Like that's how that business comes back to you, because if you treat people right and you handle a transaction right and you make it as stress-free as possible, then yeah, that one person is going to reach 5 more people or so for you. And that's when the referrals start to roll in. I appreciate you guys taking the time. I know we got some good information out there, and I'm sure this is going to help a lot of agents. If you guys enjoyed the conversation, give us a like and a comment. Thank you guys. I appreciate your time. And we'll have to do this again. So